What's good, everybody? We back with another episode of Let's Talk About It, man. And we got a few things we're going to talk about today. This is going to be a quick one. Warning, I am under the weather. These allergies are beating me down and it's insane. My eyes are watery, clogged up, all that other good/bad stuff, whatever you want to call it. But we still here to work, man. So with that being said, we're going to get into this first topic. The marathon burger. If you don't know what that is and who started that, the late great Nipsey Hussle, RIP, passed away in 2019, I think it was. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. And he started the term, the marathon continues, and his brother Black Sam continued his legacy and opened up the Marathon Burger Shop, the restaurant. And he's had success with it. He's opened multiple spots. But here recently, maybe like 8 days ago, a week ago, the Marathon Burger in Long Beach had a few celebrities out. Had Snoop, had Stevie Wonder, quite a few others. I don't know if YG was there, but he been at the other ones, shout out to him. But shots rang off during the grand opening of this restaurant in Long Beach, and we here to talk about it. So apparently, a Crip from some neighborhood, I don't know which one, because with Nip, he made all the gangs come together, or at least call a truce when he around, out of respect, and that says a lot. So, the other burger spots, there's multiple gang members there from different areas or whatever. So this one at Long Beach it's no exception. So, with some Bloods there, and then this one Crip guy was wanting to bring the outside life into the restaurant. So he throwing up gang signs and, disrespecting people in their face. And, it got Black Sam's attention, and this is all alleged. And so Black Sam was like, yo, we not doing that in here. You got to go. I'm going to escort you out. The guy was like, all right, whatever, my bad. Left. He continued to do whatever he wanted to do off the premises, and he ended up getting hands put on him. So the Bloods jumped him, put hands on him, and then shortly after that, shots rang off. It was more so, it was reckless, if anything, and it's tragic that this even happened at this establishment, man, because I really want to see them succeed. They always succeed, but I want them to get greater and greater. Black Sam and his family, that is. And I like to see them shine, man, because I've always been a fan of Nipsey since the first time I heard Crenshaw. And when I heard Crenshaw, I went back and then caught up and been a fan ever since. What I'm saying? To this day, I play his music. But yeah, my thoughts on this, man, is disrespectful. It's very disrespectful, and you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't have to go down like this for, to have somebody, I guess, like, for lack of words, ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. For lack of words, being ignorant. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, why bring that to this establishment? Like, for what? For what reason? You already know that, people here for peace. We out here to promote the marathon and, bring some money to the business and make sure everything thrives. And, it's always that one crab out the barrel that want to pull everybody down. And honestly, that's how I feel. And tragically, he ended up losing his life. But you get the hand you dealt, and if you play it the wrong way, you just end up how you living. You know what I mean? He didn't have to go out there and do that. He didn't have to, like, run his mouth and just because he sees somebody from another neighborhood automatically start disrespecting them when they ain't even in disrespect. It's like, it's a place of peace. It's supposed to be a neutral zone. You know what I mean? So, like, shout out to Nipsey and Black Sam and his family and Nipsey, and made the marathon continue. Don't let it stop you. And then it's like another thing you think, you see this happen, and then it makes it harder for people like us to, get out here and open up businesses because you got knuckleheads wanting to, start stuff for what? For like, I don't even get gang banging. I'm not from that. I've seen it from a distance, but I don't get it because at this point in my life, I couldn't see myself even still doing the same thing I was doing when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Anything. It don't matter if it's just gang bang. It could be anything. Playing like, I might game every blue moon, but playing for hours or, like silly stuff, man. That's what I categorize this as, because it's like, it's time to grow up, man. Like, how long you gonna do this? How long do you think this gonna, continue to make you look cool, or popular, or whoever you trying to impress? Is nothing. It's a slippery slope, and it always leads to one pit. It's just like selling narcotics or whatever. You do that, you end up in one place. It's never forever. You want to bang, you're gonna end up in one place. It's never forever. And you got to get up out of that mentality, man. I know I like I said, I don't understand it, but I know I'm ignorant to it. But it's like, it's a way out, because we all been put on this earth by something greater than us, and they didn't give us a bandana to rep when we were put on this earth. So the way you came in, you can still live that way and be pure. You know what I mean? But I know I'm just talking around in circles, but it's just messed up that this happened. I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of thriving and changing and becoming a better version of yourself, because that's the point I'm at in my life right now. I'm working on myself, trying to do better, trying to be a better person. I'm not trying to be perfect, because I'll never be that, but this is sad, and it makes our communities look bad or look a certain way to certain people, which I really don't care about that part. But from me looking out for my people, that's the part I care about. I want us to look good, feel good, do good, but hopefully somebody learned from it, because it's been going on before I was born, probably. But I can only speak my mind on it. But shout out to Black Sam and his whole family, and everybody that was there for support, and all the celebrities that came out, and Stevie Wonder. Once again, that's one of my favorite artists of all time. All right, so man, some more tragic news, man. I hate to be the one to do it, but I'm talking about this, in a foreign area, and I'll put the words down at the bottom, but YouTube is tripping right now. But anyway, I just wanted to get my piece on this and how I feel about our future. And I feel as this, like I said in the first topic, is a very slippery slope, and if we don't do something about it soon, then we will become the lower tier out of all of the places on this planet. Because right now, it's a tragedy of all the casualties that's happened from the schools of kids, and oil refineries losing natural resources just to take more resources later. It's like, it's never a good thing, and I don't understand why people support things like this. I get it. You got to protect your territory. I get that. I'm an advocate for that. But to invade is a different story. You know what I'm saying? We'll never know the whole truth. They never gonna tell us why, the real reason why. They'll fluff it up and tell you what you want to hear. They'll pander to certain groups, just like other places will pander to their people, to let them feel comfortable in their homes, in their skin. Like, okay, that's why. Okay. But we'll never know the real genuine reason why. But I feel like whatever that reason is, it didn't have to happen this way. It's okay for people to say no to an offer that you feel like they can't refuse. And I'm talking about, bullies picking on the weaker, the smaller areas, and I'm just not a fan of it. And, I'm sorry that this happened to anybody. I don't hate anybody. So You know, when things happen this way where lives are lost, especially children, it makes me mad, it makes me sick. And because we only, as far as we know, we only got one life. And I feel like you possibly could be judged on it when you're done with it. So you have to choose wisely and navigate this planet and love it at the same time righteously, you know. And from what I'm seeing, the people that's calling the shots are not living like that. It's more so like, gimme, let me take that. You know, this is mine. Okay, you won't, you know, if you don't give it here, I'm gonna destroy everything that's around you. You know, that type of time, that type of energy. And I'll never understand it because I am a human. And sometimes a lot of people say those people up in those big places are not human. And I'm starting to believe it, especially with all these files and stuff that come out, and you see how people are just consuming other people, and, you know, people coming up missing and things like that. You cannot be human and operate like this. You can't be human and treat other humans like this. You don't have no sympathy for nobody but yourself. That's not human behavior. That's animal type behavior. You know, a cub could be born and the mother could eat it alive. That's because they have, I don't know that they don't have souls, but that's an animal behavior to do these things to harm your own that look like you. We supposed to be on a higher intelligence than any other animal or species on this earth, supposed to be, but we behave like animals. And like, I get it. If we have to defend, I get it if that's the case, but I don't see nobody over here doing what they doing. And even when they said that they were over here doing what they doing, you know, I don't even believe that. If you may disagree with that, and that's fine, but we're entitled to our opinions. But yeah, this is, I can't talk too much about this. I'm treading lightly, if you can't tell. I have the captions down where they need to be at. But yeah, I just don't like it, man. So prayers to everybody that's suffering from this, because I couldn't imagine waking up, looking out my window, and then it's destruction and mayhem everywhere, you know, all because of somebody in a foreign place wants to take over, or wants to take what I got, or wants to prove something. You know what I mean? I don't get it. I hope for, you know, my kids' sake and everybody else's kids' sake that there's still something left out here for people to, you know, call home, because it's getting scary out here, man. And everybody, y'all think it's a joke. Act like it, keep playing like it's a joke, because I'm telling you, when the shit hit the fan and it's in your backyard, it ain't gonna be funny. I'm gonna tell you, it's not. You better stock up on your beans and rice and water. You know, get your med kit, get your emergency kit. I got one. I got an emergency bag, emergency kit, flashlights. You know, all of that good stuff. You never know, man. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And it's a world we living in right now. And it's crazy to say, but it really is. Don't be distracted. That's another thing. Don't be distracted by, you know, the nonsense, the smaller stuff, the Jim Carrey stuff that's going on, you know, just the small stuff that divide people and have them bickering and clucking in the comments, while this bigger thing is going on that's going to change the world. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a fact. And I'm gonna just end that subject right there. I'll be back with the last one. So this one's going to be a short video, not too long, but I had to give y'all something. But I'm just going to speak about myself for a little bit and what I got for you guys. So, you know, I'm getting better. You know, I feel like I'm getting better with this content and, you know, making my videos and stuff like that. I'm going to start, you know, getting more personal and letting you guys know exactly who this guy is right here that you're looking at. You know, I'm going to share more stories and, you know, try to jump off the ledge a little bit. You know, I'm so reserved in real life, man, but I got a lot of stories and a lot of experiences that I went through that it could be in a movie for real, you know, and it's like I just need to let it out, and maybe it's a form of therapy for me. maybe it'll help somebody like you, if you know, somebody like me that grew up the way I did, or you could be in a situation that I've been in. You ain't got to be where I'm from, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that, man. That's I think that'll, you know, solidify me as a creator to people that watch me and can connect in a different way, knowing who I am really, and then see where I'm headed. And I like that. You know, I want to take y'all on a journey. So with that, I have to go back and let you guys know who I am. So, you know, bits and pieces. I'm not going to do like a long 1 hour, once upon a time type thing. I ain't going to do that. I'm just saying, like, here and there, you'll hear stories of myself, things I've been through, even in like the reaction playlist that I got. You know, if I see something, I might, you know, give you a quick story time, you know, things like that. That's all I'm saying. So I have a lot of work to do as far as creations. I got ideas right here in my little book. I have things I have to check off, and I'm gonna keep working and keep working and keep working. And I got a new channel that's coming up soon. I may have it up this week, and I may have the first video up this week. Fingers crossed, as long as everything goes the way it's planned. But with this, the Let's Talk About It and the reaction and all my other playlists, I'm cooking in them. That the consistency is staying. It's not going away. So like I said, man, thank y'all for tolerating me with these allergies, because I can hear it in the mic. It sounds crazy. But with that being said, man, we're going to end it right there. And thank you guys, man. I'll be back sooner than later, man. See you later. Peace.